Hansel and Gretel, the famous fairy tale. I believe this is not just a fairy tale. I believe there's something hidden. There's meaning in there which can enhance our lives and give us insight in ourselves and our current situation, the world and our place in it. Today we're going to find it. Let's go. So, Hansel and Gretel. It's a famous fairy tale written by the brothers Grimm in the 18th century in Germany. It's been told to generations and generations of people. Now, if you don't know, Hansel and Gretel are a brother and sister. They live together in a large forest, kind of like the one behind me. And they live in a small house with their father and their stepmother. Now, the stepmother is not very kind. And the parents are not wealthy at all. They're very poor. They can't even feed their kids. So often, these kids go to bed hungry. But it gets worse. Because they can't feed their kids, they often go to bed hungry. By the way, if you see me slapping my neck or my shirt or something, it's just mosquitoes. It's summer, I'm in the forest. I'm gonna get eaten alive here. I don't even have socks on. They're gonna. Okay. Back to the story. So because the father and the stepmother can't feed the kids, the stepmother devises a plan. She says, listen, we have to get rid of these kids because we can't feed them. We barely have any food for ourselves. Okay. And the dad, being kind of spineless, he goes along with it. But Hansel, the brother, hears this plan. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna make sure we get out of here alive. So the next morning, they get their breakfast. They each get one piece of dry bread. That's their breakfast. And Hansel says, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to keep it in my pocket. And when they bring me to the forest, I'm going to leave little crumbs. And that means I can find my way back. Well, you guess what happens. He couldn't find his way back because all the birds, all the animals, they eat the bread. So, they were left to starve by their parents in the forest. So they just wandered the forest for a couple of days, slowly starving. And finally they found a house, but it's like a candy house. House is made completely out of candy. So of course they started to eat and they started to eat. And the owner of the house comes out. It's an old lady. It's an old witch, with the crooked nose and everything. And the witch invites them over for dinner. And everything is lovely and they finally have enough to eat and it's just this wonderful thing. But as the days and the weeks go by, they realize the witch isn't so wonderful at all. They're actually getting really, really fat, really, really lazy. And they actually trapped Hansel in a little prison. And when he's fat enough, the witch will eat the children. So Gretel finds this out and eventually tricks the witch, pushes her in the oven, the witch is dead, and they can return home and everything's great again. Okay. For those who didn't know, that was a summary of the myth. Now, what does this crazy story mean? That's basically what we're looking for in this video. I actually did some research this time. To be honest, I don't often see what other people are saying about the things I want to talk about, because I think it's distracting, and I want what I say to come from myself, and I just don't want to copy other people. But I looked what the experts said, and they said, it could be a story of the dysfunctional mother, the witch representing the dysfunctional mother, because that's basically what a dysfunctional mother does. Dysfunctional mother says, come here baby, I'll take care of you, I'll give you nothing but sweets. And the sweets are symbolic for actual sweets, but on a deeper level, it means that the dysfunctional mother only wants to give you the sweet and the lovely experiences in life. Meaning she's an archetype for one of these modern helicopter parents which don't let anything bad happen to their kid. Meaning they never experience adversity and they never experience trouble and they never develop a strong personality, meaning they can never truly leave their parents' house because they're ill-equipped to do so. which is of course the archetype of the dysfunctional mother. That's exactly her plan, because she never wants her kids to leave. She always wants them, you know, she's very egotistical. She wants to keep them near. So that's her plan. It's a crazy story in the sense that it's also a story of betrayal. Let me explain what I mean by that. The dad, he's supposed to take care of you. He doesn't. He can't feed him, so he's not giving you enough food, and he can't stand up to that bitch of his wife. So he fails to feed you and he fails to protect you. And basically all the males in this story are very weak. You know, Hansel is the big brother, and he tries to devise a plan, and he tries to save his little sister, but it doesn't work out. None of his plans work out. And all the women in this story are very strong, very resourceful. You know, the witch is a strong person, the mother-in-law is a strong person, is a dominant person, and in the end Gretel saves the day, actually becomes the hero. So it's actually a story of when the people who are supposed to take care of you fail miserably. I think that's what it's about. And I think even on a deeper level, I look at it as a story of addiction. That's what I think it is. Because addicted people, you know, where it always starts in their childhood. You know, the people who are supposed to take care of them, who are supposed to love you and take care of you, didn't always protect you and didn't love you and didn't take care of you the way they should. So that leaves an emptiness. In fact, you can feel yourself kind of dying on the inside, just like Hansel and Gretel died in the woods, almost died in the woods. And then they found this magical house which is made of candy. I mean, people with traumatic childhoods often end up addicted. So your addiction is your house of candy. Your house of candy could be made of actual candy. Your house of candy could be made of heroin. Your house of candy could be alcohol. And what happens when you spend a lot of time in your house of candy, alcohol, or heroin? Well, after a while, you find out that you can't leave. So the house is a symbol for your addiction that you acquire because of your neglected childhood. Now, I talked before about the old witch being archetype for the dysfunctional mother. I want to take it a step further. I really do. I think the stepmother and the witch are the same person. Because just like Batman and Bruce Wayne, they're never in the same place at the same time. But there's also this strange thing when you read the story that Gretel murders the witch, and then they come home and suddenly the stepmother isn't there. It's the same person. Meaning that when you have that childhood where you're neglected, you know, the person could just be an evil stepmother. But when you become older and you kind of realize what's been done to you, she becomes the evil witch. She becomes a very dark and very powerful figure. Mosquitoes are eating me alive here. That pushes you towards your addiction. So, does this story also teach us how to get out of this addiction? Well, yes. You have to be very resourceful, and very smart, and very cunning. I probably got mosquito bumps on the back of my head now. I'm going to finish this video, I'm going to make a good point, and then I'm going to leave. To get out of addiction, you must take power over your life back. Meaning, you must kill the person who has done it to you. Not literally, you shouldn't like literally push people in ovens, but you have an image. Because the witch wasn't the stepmother. It was the same person, but it was just different shapes. What that parent or that caregiver that has betrayed you has become in your heart, in your mind, and is tormenting your soul, that's the witch, and that's who you should kill. Put that bitch in the oven. And if you kill that thing that was created out of your neglect, then you are free to live your gingerbread house and to leave that gingerbread house, to leave your house of candy, to leave your house of heroin or alcohol or whatever the hell it is. And you are free to live in a good way. That's what I make of it. So I've told you the myth. I've told you what the experts think. I tell you what I think. I would love to hear from you. Did I nail it? Or not? I thank you for watching. At this moment in time, 1,000 subscribers for this channel is imminent. When this hits, I will do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And I'll see you next week. Goddamn mosquitoes!